As an outstanding representative of the brilliant, profound, and time-honored Chinese culture, Chinese porcelain has earned the honorary title of Country of Porcelain for China. Chinese ceramics ware is an art form that has been developing since the Neolithic period. There are two primary categories of Chinese ceramics: low-temperature fired pottery and high-temperature fired porcelain. The history of Chinese ceramics began some 8,000 years ago with the crafting of hand-modeled earthenware vessels. Soon after, in the late Neolithic period, the potter's wheel was invented, facilitating the promotion of more uniform vessels. Over the following centuries, innumerable new ceramic technologies and styles were developed. Jingdezhen in Jiangxi province, thanks to its more than 2,000 years ceramic culture and great accumulation of ceramic making techniques, is credited as the capital of porcelain, renowned as white as jade, as bright as mirror, as thin as paper, and as sound as a chime. Jingdezhen porcelain is the best in the ceramic industry and famous throughout the world. The graceful and beautiful blue and white porcelain, colorfully painted porcelain, splendid color glazed porcelain, lustrous eggshell porcelain, as well as sculpture porcelain of wonderful craftsmanship, all of them are highly acclaimed as brilliant gems in the Hall of Chinese Culture and Art.
Well, here comes to our first stop, Jingdezhen China Ceramic Museum. Now, please take a quick look at the shape. What does it look like?
It looks like a big bowl.
Well, let me give you a clue. Think about the step of making ceramics. Do you have any idea?
I guess the first step of making ceramics, just like holding the body in one's hand.
Yeah, exactly. That is called throwing. So, can you guess why we're here today?
To explore more secrets about ceramics?
Yes, that's pretty close. The museum collects nearly 40,000 pottery and porcelain masterpieces in different historical periods since the New Stone Age and Han and Tang dynasties, among which there are about 500 national precious cultural relics, including Jingdezhen representative types in this 1,000-year porcelain making history.
I can't wait to go inside.
Let's go! Well, do you know when Jingdezhen started to make ceramics?
I guess around 2,000 years ago.
Yes, according to the historical records, ceramics were produced in Jingdezhen as far as the Han dynasty.
Oh, I know that. At the time, the city was called Xing.
Yes, at that time, on the base of workmanship of Shang and Zhou dynasty, people in Jingdezhen made blue pottery with glaze, which lays the foundation for ceramic making. The time from Han dynasty to Tang dynasty can be regarded as the period of origin and gradual development of Jingdezhen porcelain.
Speaking of the city name, it was once called Changnan Town. It sits at the south bank of the Chang River. I heard after the foundation of the Tang dynasty, the reign of Li Yuan ceramic production developed further. It is said that porcelain looked like jade at the time. Is that true?
Indeed, though primitive, kilns at the time were already making high-fat pottery, then known to be translucent and became big selling products. It was often referred to artificial jade. Since then, Changnan ceramics have been known to all over the China. So I'm wondering how the city was renamed as Jingdezhen later.
The story happened in the Song dynasty. The third emperor of the Song dynasty, Song Zhenzong, had a special love for porcelains. He was deeply fascinated with the city's porcelains for their pure color and elegant shapes. To show his love for the city, the emperor gave his reign the title Jingde to it. Thereafter, the city was named Jingdezhen, which means a town named Jingde. According to historical records, kilns were everywhere. How come?
Well, as the Song dynasty moved their capital to the south, a lot of skilled craftsmen from the north came to Jingdezhen, which made breakthroughs in the workmanship and skill. Jingdezhen entered a fast development stage and surpassed the role of 5 famous kilns in Song, namely Lu, Guan, Jing, Ding, and Ge.
I see. That's how it became the town of porcelain.
Yes. Now, let's look at the most representative type of ware in Jingdezhen, which was called Qingbai porcelain. It was a transparent and jade-like type porcelain, with a bluish-white glaze. Decoration was only made by delicate carving or incising. However, The decoration was totally different in the Yuan dynasty, as China's porcelain entered into a colored porcelain age with the invention of blue and white porcelain.
I know that. That was one of the most impressive porcelain types and my favorite. Blue and white porcelain is initially painted with cobalt pigment on the green clay bodies, then covered with a layer of clear glaze, and even fired at about 1,360 degrees. How did it make such a big progress in technique?
The secret was the addition of kaolin clay to the original pottery stones, which then increased the rate of aluminium. In this way, it raised the firing temperature, reducing the deformation rate and creating good conditions for making large-scale pieces.
You are right. And another major issue that cannot be neglected was the establishment of an imperial porcelain factory. In order to meet the demands of the emperor and the palace, a special agency serving the imperial family, the Fulian Porcelain Office, was set up in Jingdezhen on 1278.
Yes, Jingdezhen porcelain in the Ming Dynasty reached its peak in all dimensions: quantity, quality, design, and variety. The imperial depot was set up in Jingdezhen, which exclusively produced wares for the palace, for diplomatic use and to be given as gifts. It relied on the authority of the emperor, gathering many craftsmen who were familiar with and good at porcelain making. The depot invested a large number of money and used only the best materials in the porcelain production process, producing numerous excellent porcelain wares. Some of them were considered to be the national treasure.
Wow, I can imagine the scene of prosperity then. What's worth mentioning is this period of time is the booming of folk kilns.
We just covered two dimensions, quantity and quality. Regarding to design and variety, besides the blue and white, glazed color porcelain emerged and became a milestone in China's ceramic history.
Jingdezhen porcelain in Qing Dynasty had inherited the craftsmanship and variety of Ming Dynasty. But there were many inventions. Thanks to the hard work of the potters and craftsmen, porcelain wares made in Jingdezhen reached its peak during the period of the Kangxi, Yongzheng, and Qianlong and Qing Dynasty. Can you name some examples?
Sure. For instance, the blue and white and Kangxi period used germ blue, much purer and brighter than that of the Ming Dynasty. These were the finest porcelains ever made.
What's more, many new glazes were invented at the time. With the Qing period, designs became more varied, combined folk and imperial styles, and Jingdezhen ware became famous around the world.
In the long course of Jingdezhen ceramic history, the city had taken in and inherited techniques of other porcelain-making cities. The traditional porcelain-making crafts of Jingdezhen, with the precious craftsman spirit, spread unique craft culture and complete non-material cultural heritage system. They are the important components of splendid traditional Chinese culture for their ideology, wisdom, and temperaments.